I call the meeting of September 19th, 2022 to order at 6 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Michelle, could you please call the roll?
Potato.
Here.
Brown. Cole.
Here.
Hochstetter.
Here.
Newman. Councilmember Newman.
Absent.
Reed.
Here.
Stewart.
Here.
All right. Jason, did you hear from Councilmember Newman today?
No, Mayor, I have not.
All right. Okay, moving on to,
Mayor,
yes,
could we get a motion to excuse Councilmember Newman?
okay, I was wondering. Do I have a motion to excuse Councilmember Newman?
Not if she didn't call in.
And Mayor, we'll give her some time to reach out to council.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Never mind. All right. Moving on to consent agenda. Michelle, would you read the consent agenda?
Item number 1, approval of the regular council meeting minutes from September 6, 2022 and September 12, 2022 study session. Item number 2, TC Heritage Park Master Plan, alley design and wayfinding signage consultant services contract. Item 3, Salmon Creek Culverts Consultant Services Contract. Item 4, Resolution number 1637, acceptance of local records grant from Washington State Archives.
Thank you. Could I get a motion by Deputy Mayor Hochstetter?
Yes, I move we adopt the consent agenda as read.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Hochstetter, seconded by Councilmember Cole. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimous. All right. All right. Unfinished business, we have none tonight. Public comment. Public's encouraged to submit their comments to the city clerk by email before tonight's meeting, so the clerk may read those emails to the record. Michelle, were there any public comments received?
No, Mayor, there were not.
No comments received, so we will move on. There's nobody on that I can see on there. All right, moving on to Newey.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Oh, yes, I see Charlotte is here.
Councilmember Newman has arrived. What time
Yes.
did she arrive at?
I would say
6:03. Thank you.
6:03. There we go. Okay. Okay. We have Community Development Director Ryan Windish for Cultural Arts Commissioner appointment of Paula Johnson.
Mayor,
Yes.
it's Latifah Johnson first.
Latifah is not here. Okay, Latifah Johnson first.
Clerk's gonna make the motion, I think.
Mayor, can we get a motion, please?
Yes, you can. Do we have a motion for Latifah Johnson? Councilmember Potato.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the mayoral
appointment of Ms. Johnson to the Cultural Arts Commission for a term ending in April of 2026.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Yes, I'd like to second that.
Thank you. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Hochstetter. All in favor? Say,
Aye.
Aye.
any opposed? All right,
Excuse me, Mayor, can we have Mr. Windish first give his presentation?
sure. Mr. Windish,
In anyways.
she's in, we're in, we don't.
Well, thank you, Madam Mayor and members of City Council tonight. Seeking confirmation, sounds like a positive confirmation for Ms. Latifah Johnson to a 4-year term on the Cultural Arts Commission. Ms. Johnson is currently serving on the Parks and Forestry Commission and brings her enthusiasm to the Cultural Arts Commission. She wants to assist in developing another aspect of the commission, focusing on cultural events and activities. As you know, the Sumner Cultural Arts Commission consists of 15 members who are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the city council. The members are to be selected without respect to political affiliations and serve without compensation. And I believe her term will be expiring April of 2026.
Thank you. And it looks like we already voted on that. Do we need to vote again? All right. Now we will have Paula Johnson. If you would like to,
I'll make a motion.
how about if we have Deputy Mayor Hochstetter make a motion on that?
Sorry. Yes, I move the mayor appointment of Ms. Johnson to the Cultural Arts Commission for a term of 4 years ending in April 2026.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Cole. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mayor, can we have Mr. Windish please give his presentation?
Yes, he can.
Thank you.
But I wanted to be fair and we did. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
So tonight, and we have Ms. Paula Johnson with us, seeking a 4-year term on the Cultural Arts Commission. Ms. Johnson is newer to the area. She's looking for a way to be involved with the community. And it was suggested by Mayor Hayden that she join the Cultural Arts Commission. So we're looking forward to having Ms. Paula Johnson on the Arts Commission. She is here. If you'd like to ask her a few questions or have her make a few comments.
Would you like to speak to this? Would you like to say anything? All right.
She's looking forward to being on the Arts Commission, and I'm sure it'll be a very positive contribution.
And I think she'll do a really good job. I think she will do a really good job. She's excited. All right. Now, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations and thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Oh, glad that's over. Okay, yeah, it's been a long weekend. All right, now let's move on to amending number 2833, amending the 2021-2022 biennial budget. Councilmember Cole, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I move to adopt ordinance number 2833, amending the 2021-2022 biennial budget.
Do I have a second?
Yes, I'll second that.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor Hochstetter. Cassandra Raymond is at the mic. Take off.
Good evening.
Yes, would you like
Thank you.
to make your presentation?
Absolutely.
So I know we're spending a lot of time talking about the 23-24 biennial budget, but we still have a little bit of business to do on the 21-22. So to that end, this is our third quarter budget amendment for the 2021-22 budget. We have several items that are accomplished by this budget. This is ordinance 2833. The first item, this program's $5,000 for franchise agreement support. This is specialized legal support that's anticipated to be offset by administrative fees. We also have an appropriation in our cemetery fund of $11,000. This is to procure a lowering device. This is to replace an aging and failing unit. And of course, time is of the essence, so we can continue to provide the service to our customers. In our fleet operations, we'll be procuring diagnostic equipment to improve efficiency and streamline our repairs. This is funded by the general fund by transfer in. In fleet replacement, we're purchasing a 2022 Chevrolet Colorado pickup truck. This is actually accelerating a purchase. This will provide for not only our staff needs, but we've been experiencing some difficulties with the supply chain. And this vehicle was available at a very competitive price. So we would like the authorization to go ahead and procure that. And then finally, we have a staff amendment. This is based on a completed staffing study for our public works and engineering and operations. This was discussed at Finance Committee as well as the Public Works Committee. This is the addition of 3 staff members, and that is distributed between the general fund, water, sewer, and stormwater. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any discussion among council members? All right, seeing none. Any members of the public that would like to speak on this? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Hochstetter,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Potato,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Thank you.
Passes unanimous. Okay, ordinance number 2834, amending the 2021-2022 biennial budget, ARPA. And we have Jeff Steffens, Services Director.
Mayor, can we please get a motion?
Councilmember Newman, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I move that we adopt ordinance 2834 to amend the 2021 and 2022 biennial budget, specifically with ARPA funds.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilmember Potato. All in favor? No.
Mayor,
Well,
can
let's talk
Mr.
about it
Stephens give his
first.
motion, his presentation?
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Just checking.
It's been a long weekend. Come on. Okay, Mr. Steffens, go for it.
Thank you. It really takes the pressure off when you've already voted yes, which is lovely. So Sumner Municipal Code sets forth very strict rules when it comes to penalties and disconnection of delinquent utility accounts. That all changed with the COVID-19 pandemic. Back in March of 2020, the governor issued a proclamation that prohibited collection activities, including imposition of penalties, service interruptions for non-payment. That proclamation finally expired in September 30th of 2021. And the city did not resume utility shutoffs until the following February of 2022. The city of Sumner passed a utility customer support policy during that time. We issued Sumner Cares money in partnership with the Family Center and Sumner Rotary. We allowed utility accounts a grace period and deferral, allowed people to make simple payment arrangements to get their utility accounts current, and then we directed people to other assistance resources. So as far as our customer support policy, that's kind of a repeat of the previous slide, so we'll skip that one. So as far as customer assistance, the city really directed our customers to Pierce County for their various programs that they had. And that program recently closed to new applicants. The county is currently processing applications that they received prior to December 20th of 2021. So they are significantly behind in reviewing these applications. The county has two funding sources. One is using county ARPA money. As far as the county ARPA money pool, we've received notice of two utility accounts that are in that payment process. We've received one payment of $700, and we have a second account that's still kind of pending. The county also has money that they received as far as a low-income household water assistance program, also known as LEWAP. That program is only available to households who fall below the federal poverty line. There is also additional assistance on the horizon that's coming from the Washington State Department of Commerce. They're still kind of collecting information from utilities on the amount of past due balances that are kind of still hanging out there statewide. With this, the timing and that scope of the program are still completely unknown to us, as they're just now in the information gathering stage. But knowing that it's federally funded, it will also only be available to households with incomes below the federal poverty line, most of which Sumner residents do not qualify for. So the city allowed customers to enter into payment plans. This allowed people to pay down their outstanding balance over a course of a 12-month period. This is longer than a normal payment arrangement. Customers were required to stay current with their new bills while working off kind of their other balance that was really put on a separate set of books over 12 months. And this was all done prior to disconnects in March of 2022. Accounts that agreed to be on a payment plan would not be assessed penalties. Tenants must have owner approval to enter into a payment plan, and defaulting on a payment plan would lead to service interruption. They were offered to residential utility accounts only, and 56 accounts registered, most of them starting in March, just before that first disconnection day. Of those 56, 5 of those accounts are currently paid off, with 51 outstanding. And of those 51 outstanding, 37 are past due and 2 are currently shut off. The average beginning payment plan balance was just a little over $1,500, and they ranged between $4,400 all the way down to as low as $437. Average current monthly payment plan balance right now is $958. And on average, these folks are paying an additional $134 a month on top of their normal utility bill to stay current. So with the number of accounts still on payment plans, accounts having difficulty of staying current with their payment plans, and a lack of assistance, we brought this to the ARPA committee as a possible grant opportunity. There's currently $189,000 in unallocated ARPA funds remaining. Providing utility assistance is allowable under the ARPA rules, provided that there's a nexus to COVID. All those 56 accounts that entered into payment plans initially back in March had to attest that they were having financial difficulties because of the impacts of COVID-19. So that's already built in. And the ARPA committee looked at various funding options, and they ultimately chose to provide funding to pay off all remaining payment plan balances. So what Ordinance 2834 that's before you tonight allocates $55,000 in ARPA funds to provide those grant opportunities. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions from the council? Councilmember Botetto?
Can you tell us what is the federal poverty line? Sorry.
That is a great question, and it was on my slide, and I deleted it. I believe it's for a family of 4. It's $3,600 a month. It's really, really pretty low with high cost of living here, especially in Western Washington. The national poverty line is pretty low for our folks.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Councilmember Hochstetter?
Yeah, Mr. Stephens, thank you for researching this project and figuring out what it would take to give all these customers a fresh start and coming to the ARPA committee, because I think it's a great use of the funds, and just to get our citizens back in line is a very good idea. So thank you for your work on the project.
Thank you.
Any others? Councilmember Reed had a question.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to comment in support of this and to thank staff and the rest of the ARPA committee. We looked at a lot of different options for quite some time, trying to find a way that utilized the ARPA funds in a way that fit within the ARPA rules and still was the best benefit for those who needed it the most. And I thought this was a great solution. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Steffens. I guess I'm not real sure because it happened before I got back on the council about the ARPA, the source of ARPA funding. That came from the federal government, did it?
That is correct.
And does that give us special authority to use that money any way we see fit, as long as it fits a certain parameter?
Yes.
Can you describe for me how this is not using this money to pay off past due balances for some is not a gift of public funds?
Well, it's not a gift of public funds because it is a specific use that's tied to ARPA. It has to be related to the COVID-19 pandemic. All of these customers are on payment plans. They've already tested because of COVID-19. It is a grant program, so it's not a gift of public funds.
And I remember when we first started talking about this, there was a spreadsheet that showed how many businesses were on the list, how many apartment complexes, and how many homeowners. Do you have any such a list for this group?
The specific payment plans were only available to residential customers. So these are all, this ARPA grant will only be towards 56 residential utility accounts. We still continue to struggle to this day with numerous multifamily, residential, business accounts that are always on the verge of disconnect. A month prior, I think we had roughly 90 accounts that were disconnected on shutoff day. So we still have a lot of struggle in the community to keep bills paid and keep them current.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Newman, did you have, I thought I saw your hand up. No, you're good. Okay. Any others? Mr. Brown.
Yes. This is make everybody up to date.
This will not bring all the accounts completely up to date. What it will do is it will pay off their payment plan. So it'll essentially take care of what they had as an outstanding balance back in March when we started the disconnects. Some of these customers are still keeping current on their normal bills. Some of these customers will still have a balance on their regular utility account. So what it will do is it'll provide a significant amount of assistance, but maybe not bring everybody up to date.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Excuse me, Newman,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Potato,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Hochstetter.
Yes.
All right, unanimous. Thank you. Okay, moving on to resolution number 1638, Utility Bill Assistance Program. And Councilmember Stewart, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I move to approve resolution number 1638, establishing a utility customer assistance program in order to provide financial support by using ARPA funds to pay outstanding balances on utility accounts with established COVID-19 payment plans.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Councilmember Hochstetter.
Yes, I'll second that.
Motion by Councilmember Stewart, second by Deputy Mayor Hochstetter. And I have Administrative Services Director Jeff Steffens still standing at the stand. Go for it.
Thank you. This resolution is really the companion piece to the previous budget ordinance. This sets forth the actual utility assistance policy. So as mentioned before, what the policy will do will provide grants to all 56 payment plans at an amount equal to the outstanding balance as of the end of this month. No account shall receive less than $250. So those folks that have paid off their balance already will get at least $250 that will be applied to their regular utility account. Any account that ends up with a credit balance, the credit balance will just stay on their account. They won't get a check. It'll just stay there and they won't have to, make a payment probably next month or even the following month. Any services that were disconnected because of a past due payment balance will be restored. And then staff will continue to coordinate with Pierce County or any other additional funding partners if such funds come available and customers are still in need of assistance in getting those payments applied to their regular utility account. And I'm happy to answer any questions on this resolution.
Thank you. Any discussion among council members? Seeing none. Anybody in the public would like to speak on this? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Cole,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Hochstetter,
Yes.
Potato,
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Also passes unanimous. Okay, moving on to council reports. Councilmember Cole. Thank you. Councilmember Hofstadter.
Nothing this evening. Thank you.
Councilmember Stewart.
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Potato.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Brown. Wow. Councilmember Newman.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Reed.
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Oh. All right. Moving on to City Administrator Jason Wilson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Coming up at next week's study session, we'll be discussing the 2023 utility rates. We'll be presenting options for Council to consider. We'll also be reviewing the water, sewer, wastewater treatment plant, stormwater, and utility capital funds. So a fun night of budget discussion. On October 3rd at the regular council meeting, we'll be having two proclamations, one for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, the second one recognizing the Bonnie Lake Sumner Little League team for their achievement by going to the Little League World Series. We'll also be considering an ordinance to amend the ARPA budget, and this one is related to a restaurant grant. After that regular council meeting, we'll have a special study session, which will continue our budget discussions. And we'll be reviewing the development services and the community development funds, the parks, the facilities, as well as the cemetery funds. Regarding commissions, our commissions have been very busy lately. The Lodging Tax Committee met and reviewed recommended fund uses. And the committee recommended that $75,000 be allocated towards creating a strategic tourism plan in conjunction with the current countywide planning efforts. This allocation recommendation will be discussed in further detail during the budget presentation on October 24th. The Forestry and Parks Commission has been meeting and reviewing a request to create an Adopt a Trail program. This program would allow local businesses to adopt certain sections of trails to help with cleanup, as well as just general watching to see what's going on. And that'd be assigned specific sections on our Sumner Link Trail. And then the Planning Commission continues to work through the proposed code changes for 0 lot line subdivisions. This is an item that was identified as a priority in our housing action plan. And this will be coming back to council for further review in late October and also in November. Personnel wise, we are currently recruiting for a public works operator, as well as a building and fire safety official. If you're interested in learning more about either one of those positions or applying for them, please visit our website. And then last, I wanted to do a shout out to our finance department. The fiscal year 2021 state audit has been published and is available on the state auditor's office website for your reading pleasure. I'm happy to report that the city received a clean audit for both financial as well as our single audit. And I really want to thank Chief Financial Officer Cassandra Raymond, Financial Services Manager Dory Franich, and Contracts Administrator Kelsey White They did an amazing job, got a lot of positive feedback from the auditor's office regarding how accommodating they were and just how professional and wonderful they were. So I want to thank them, and they definitely help us maintain that clean audit status. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Thank you. So last week, the city employees held a golf tournament on their own to raise money for Come Walk With Me. This funding helps keep services for local people experiencing breast cancer. And I want to thank our local sponsors, especially Murray's Disposal and the Old Cannery. And also thank you to our staff. We appreciate how much you are all part of this community, even on your time off. You can still sign up to participate with Come Walk With Me. And it is on October 1st, and add your support too. So hang tight if you want to be in the special study session that follows immediately after this meeting. Thank you.
Mayor, are you
Meeting-
going? Excuse me, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. Thank you.
Meeting is adjourned at 6:33.